Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Xeno, the personification for cry for help, and we are back with more promises to keep. Now, in the last part, this route is a little bit more flirtatious than the other routes. I mean, Hunter was downright flirting with us, but Leo reciprocated back, and that caught Hunter off guard. So, this ought to be interesting. As y'all know, we're going through the same old routine. We're going to be rescuing old Diana from her apartment and hand her over to the Robinsons. But Hunter is really good at playing the parts of a corporate businessman and lying his way through success. I guess all we need to do to convince Mr. Robinson to let Diana stay is to short his ego and offer her money, which apparently Hunter has a lot of since he is a rich boy. See, this is what happens when you become a nepo baby. Actually, this is what should happen when you become a nepo baby. Like, damn, let me throw away some money to other people. Shit. Well, anyway, we need a shovel, and so we were stopping by his house. And we did to see the inside of it. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. Hunter unlocked the door of his house using some special app. So that means that this house should still have power, correct? If so, why does he need to stay with Theo? Maybe it's because that house holds a lot of memories and he probably just wants to get away from it. I'm not too sure, but that house better not have power. And maybe the lock doesn't have that. Maybe the lock is the only thing that has power. I don't fucking know. I'm making excuses for this guy. Listen, let's just continue onwards, shall we? Of course, the last one we left off on, like I said, we're going to rescue old Diana from her house, and we're going to need a shovel, and we're following Hunter to his house so he can grab his shovel from the garage. So, we're in his house. Yep, I'm back. Feel free to sit anywhere. Give me 1 minute. And don't worry about your boots, just make yourself comfortable. He zooms off into another room before I can answer. This is fucking weird. Fighting the intense deja vu, I step into the extravagant foyer. Aside from the freshly tracked snow, the room sits perfectly untouched and pristine. I wander around the dining area, my footpaws following a familiar path. Everything looks the same, but emptier? Hollower? Colder. Something definitely happened here. Yeah, his dad died in front of him. There was a spentness to this place. A void that lingers in the carefully arranged furniture and shining, spotless floors. As if the house knows it has changed. It will never be the same again. Yeah, on account of his dad dying in front of him. I shiver, almost wishing for that same golden warmth to return. For the walls and ceilings to crack and split and let everything out. Does Hunter live here alone? And where are his parents? Dad! I hear paw steps approaching me, but all I can do is stare at my surroundings. I found an extra! I don't really register what the raccoon is saying, still lost in thought. He taps my shoulder gently. Leo, are you good to go? Once again, he breaks me out of my trance state. Sorry, I'm here. I'm just intrigued by this place, I guess. In what way? Hunter's tone is perfectly innocent. I can't quite put it into words, but I'm sure I'll figure it out eventually. After a brief hesitation, he nods. Hey, Hunter, where are... I stop myself mid-question before the words drop and break. Leo, if your dream was even close to being correct, this is probably the worst possible way in time to ask him about his parents. He raises an eyebrow. Sorry, I was just wondering if you live by yourself here. He nods. Yeah, it's just me. But only during breaks. I live on campus during the academic year. This house must have dozens of rooms. What do you mean it's just you? I picture Hunter dining at the massive table, every other seat vacant. Walking the halls with only his paw steps echoes his company, like a king standing alone on a vacant chessboard. I see. That makes sense. We should probably hurry and meet up with Artemis, don't you think? Right. I tuck the rest of my questions away. Now's not the time. Sounds like a plan. Let's go. And with that, Hunter escorts us briskly back outside, just a little faster than when we came in. We're out in the cold again. We once again enter the harsh winter storm, now armed with a shovel each. Hunter checks his phone for Artemis' address briefly, then slips it back into his pocket. I reach for his paw naturally, and he turns back to smile, before starting off through the drifts. Frankly, I would have gotten lost out here by myself. It's kind of an embarrassing thought, to not be able to recognize the neighborhood I grew up in, but that childhood hometown seems so far away now. So long ago. I shake off those lingering thoughts and focus on keeping up with Hunter. Soon, Artemis comes into view, standing in front of one of the oldest looking houses on the block. Somehow he doesn't seem cold despite being in just a few hoodies. Or he's really good at faking it. Our paws slip apart as we approach. No, be gay in public! Though I'm unsure which one of us lets go first. Guys, Artemis knows already, okay? Listen, he gave us a cheeky wink. So, just be gay. Sorry for the holdup. We're ready to head out now. No worries. You have the address? The raccoon sticks out his tongue and points to his head. All up here. I know this town like the back of my paw. Artemis looks entirely unimpressed. Maybe that's just his usual demeanor. He looked it up right before this, didn't he? The bird looks over at me. Hunter gives me the most Rofi-esque puppy eyes. No, for real. He definitely had the layout of this neighborhood memorized from the start. Artemis snorts. Right, whatever. Anyway, they're probably waiting for us. With Artemis traveling alongside us, our pace picks up noticeably. The bird's serious demeanor reminds me that this isn't just a fun romp in the snow. We've got work to do. Oh god, we're gonna go to her house again. Jesus Christ. Very quickly, we come up on Ollie, shoveling the driveway by himself. Despite his apparent aversion to cold, his progress was already remarkable. He's definitely done this many times before. Hunter bounds up to him with renewed energy, slinging the shovel over his shoulder. Where are we dropping, boys? You did not just say that. Hunter throws a smile out of me, though, and he definitely notices. Hey, all. The dino pauses his word for a moment, slapping some caked snow from his gloves. Theo needs us to clear the driveway and maybe move the car too. He's inside right now with Rofi, sorting out Diana's things. The plan is to carry her out, so we'll also need a good path across the street to number 30. We all turn to the opposite side of the road. Number 30 is pretty obvious, as it's the only lit up house on the block. Great. Thanks, Ollie. Let's get started. Hunter is the first to interrupt. Really quickly, I think Leo and I should check in with the Robinsons first. We were the ones who called them this morning, so we should probably make sure everything is settled. He turns to Ollie. Theo didn't beat me to the Robinsons, did he? No, he went straight to Diana with Rofi. Great! He plants our shovels into the snow and starts clumping across the street, not waiting for me this time. I realize and start following him, calling over my shoulder to Ollie and Artemis. Be right back! Why is he in such a hurry to do this now? Hunter plows across the street and up to the Robinsons' house. I barely catch up with him as he pauses at the door. Hunter? He lets out another long breath, preparing to mask up again. Yeah, just give me a sec. I stand there quietly, waiting for him to finish. He shakes his head rapidly, then opens his eyes. Ritual complete. Okay, let's sort this out first. Before I reply, he knocks on the door. Yes? The same gruff voice from the phone grumbles out from behind the door. Good morning, it's Hunter, the individual you spoke to on the phone. Oh, yes! His tone smooths out immediately and the door swings open. The gruff, grumpy-looking groundhog could only be Tom Robinson. Is it the same fucking groundhog who predicted 6 more weeks of winter? If so, I want to cook this bitch. Summer isn't over yet. He looks angry at baseline. Sharp, beady eyes, a dipped, constantly furrowed brow, and a tense, forward-leaning posture, as if at any moment he might lunge. A demeanor completely at odds with his pristine, polite phone manner, the businessman's persona he's been putting on. He ignores me entirely and fixes his gaze on Hunter, staring him with his eyes. You look much younger than I expected. Supposedly complimentary words, spoken with an artful hint of disdain. He stiffly offers a paw. Tom Robinson. A pleasure. Hunter replies back evenly, gripping Tom's paw tight. I think I can almost see Tom wince when it happens. No, the pleasure is truly mine. Please, come in. Hunter pulls his paw back, ending the paw shake. I would love to, but must politely decline at the moment. We are currently working to clear out Miss Diana's driveway to make her transport easier, and my support will be needed. Tom narrows his eyes, annoyance breaking through. I think we both see Hunter's game. Denying Tom the home field advantage and letting the frigid weather wear him down. I see. I am just checking in prior to helping with Diana's move, to make sure that you are prepared to accommodate her. Is everything ready for a transfer? We have arranged everything, yes. He gestures inside, to the couch in the middle of their living room. We will have her stay here for the time being. Food and water will be provided, and there is a shower with a bathroom accessible in the downstairs area. Hunter nods. Excellent. Before I go, let's take some time to sort out your compensation. I see Tom's eyes gleam with a grotesque, almost nauseating light. Wait, that's a new sprite? I don't think I've seen him smile before. Oh, this is fun. This is gonna be fun. Fantastic. I went ahead and performed a quick analysis of the nearby hotels in the areas and their rates. According to my research, the average 4-star hotel is running for about $200. Now, if we consider a standard resort fee and... I feel my claws extend, and I ball my fists to keep them from showing. Resort fee? She's staying on the fucking couch. He's not exactly running an elite establishment here. Thankfully, Hunter comes him off. Oh, he's gonna offer something bigger than that, huh? He's gonna say like, what, 500, 600 a night or something? Because he's that rich? Fucking hell. Actually, wait. Okay, so Hunter is an Nepo baby, and his parents are presumably dead. Well, we know definitely well his dad is dead. We don't know much about his mom. And he's a star athlete at his college, so he probably gets a lot of scholarships. Combine that and his family's inheritance. Obviously, that's a lot of disposable income and stuff, but that will run dry soon enough if you spend too much on it, unless, like, you know, he has trust funds and does stocks and bonds. Where does he get other sources of income? Like, how's that work? What was his dad's business, and does he run that business now alongside his academic career at college? Anyway, let's see what he's gonna say. I appreciate your diligence in doing some research. How does $300 a night sound? I can arrange that at this moment for, say, the next 2 nights. Tom seems taken aback by how easily Hunter throws out that figure, but hides his surprise quickly. That sounds more than fair to me. Hunter produces a fancy-looking checkbook from his coat pocket. When did he slip that in? And rapidly fills it out. He removes the check with a loud, crisp tear and hands it to Tom. You'll find I've included a bit extra to cover any possible fees or inconveniences. Very kind of you. Just as Tom reaches triumphantly for the check, Hunter pulls it away. A slick, practiced flick of the wrist. Their eyes lock. In a heartbeat, the raccoon's polite, friendly demeanor turns steely, gaze glaringly sharp. I trust this financial agreement will stay between us two. Tom blinks back at Hunter, and I catch a hint of a new emotion. Fear? Maybe regrets? I can't tell for sure. Truthfully, Hunter's rapid transformation is freaking me out. Just a little. Tom flicks his eyes down at the check in his paw, then back up at Hunter. I try to catch a glimpse, but I could only make out 3 zeros before the decimal point. Ooh? He gave Tom way more than 600. He gave him like $1,000? Fuck, that's even more than I thought. Then, he lets out a clearly nervous chuckle. Of course, I can assure you of that. Hunter tips his paw, holding the check towards the groundhog once more, who stuffs the piece of paper in his pants pocket. His beady eyes flick into a point straight over my shoulder. I swish my tail uneasily at this interaction, only to feel it brush against another coat behind me. Is it Theo? Please tell me it's not Theo. Please tell me it's not anyone else. Someone's gonna find out. Shit!
Surprise, motherfucker!
Shit! Oh no! Okay, please tell me he arrived just in time for them to end that conversation. Please tell me he didn't overhear anything. Please tell him he don't. Please tell me Theo didn't overhear anything. Fuck. Please let the howling winter winds deafen his ears. Please. I jump a little. Turn around to find Theo standing right there. Great. It's all sorted then. All smiles once more. Hunter turns to greet Theo, showing no surprise at his sudden appearance. Hey, Theo. Just making sure the place is all ready for Diana. Theo gives Hunter a look. Then Thomas slow once over. And? Unusually bruised for Theo. His tone is short and annoyed, much like Tom. I try not to laugh too hard internally at my own joke. Now it seems like a bad time. And it is sorted, as Mr. Robinson just confirmed with me. We're ready to move her. A long, awkward silence. You paid for this, didn't you, Hunter? What? Good to hear. We'll be back, Tom. Fine. We're ready. Tom lets his normal gruffness seep back into his tone. Now, if you don't mind, you'll land in a draft. Not when you're here. Tom shuts the door on us unceremoniously. I look over at Hunter just in time to see the last hint of piercing gold leave his eyes. He looks back at me and smiles. I can't tell if it's real not anymore, but I give one back to him. You two are on top of it today. Theo breaks up a little moment. Did Tom give you any trouble? None at all. How's Diana? Rofi is finishing up with her. Had a bit of a health incident while we were getting her ready, so we were stalled for a bit. Uh-oh. Yeah, we know all about that, don't we? All the more reason for us to hurry then. The raccoon starts down the porch steps. What kind of incident? Well, is she alright? Hunter interrupts, turning back to face us. Yes, she's stable for now. Good, then let's head out. His question feels more like a demand, despite his light and easy tone. After a brief moment, Theo nods stoically and follows him down. With a swish of coats and tails, the two of them start trekking across to number 27 once more. I stand there, still processing everything that happened in the last 5 minutes. I remember to follow behind the two of them, this time. Was my question that bad? Was it weird to ask what happened to Diana? Everybody's just a little on edge, that's probably it. I convinced myself somewhat, for now. I mentioned to sit down with the raccoon and debrief this all later, though. Come on, Leo, keep up. Don't make Hunter stump you back to reality for the 3rd time today, lest you up the girl's gravity. As we walk back to Diana's, I notice snow already building up on the shoveled pathway, the blizzard ignoring the hard work that our crew already put in. Artemis greets us out front, already hoisting his shovel for another round. Ollie is inside with Rofi. I think they're about ready. Thanks, Artemis. The fox nods and leads us along the side of the house. He grips the model doorknob and twists, clearly needing to put some force to opening the ancient door. Oh dear. And of course we're back here again. The combined stench of cigarette smoke and mildew hits me like a wall. I recoil and bump into Hunter, startling him. Hey, you good? Yeah, sorry, just... A second later, the smell hits him too, and I don't have to explain anymore. He makes a face that nearly earns a smile out of me, but we quickly refocus, noticing Theo beckoning us inside. As we step through the door, stopping our boots on the nearly destroyed welcome mat, I hear Ollie's voice from further in. Alright, Diana, we have your things all set here. We walk down the small entryway and into the cluttered living room. And there she is! I spot them immediately. The old woman stares warily from her distressed armchair, one milky-eyed glimmer past me into nothing. Even bundled in a thick coat, she looks tiny. Theo is the first to enter, followed by myself. Hunter quietly lags behind. As we walk in, Diana keeps her gaze fixed on Theo, as if waiting to catch him stealing something. They exchange no words. Instead, the fox addresses Rofi, who is kneeling on the floor next to the armchair, fiddling with some kind of medical kit. We ready? Yeah, faster we get to the Robinsons, the better, but we're okay right now. I sneaked another look at Diana, trying not to obviously stare. She looks pretty awful. Good thing Theo discovered her when we did. Hunched, real thin, and trembling, but with an obvious attitude still smoldering behind those eyes. As I watch, she conjures a beaten-up old flask from the cushion of her easy chair and shakes it, listening for the telltale slosh. She grimaces and knocks it back before tossing it onto the floor, empty. How long has she just been sitting here in this horrible old house? Does she ever even leave? Maybe for a grocery haul once a month? The intrusive thought weasels its way into my head before I can catch it. Oh god. Could I end up like this? 60 years down the line? Will I even make it that far? Okay, anything else you want, Pat? We can always come back for stuff too. As Ollie approaches, her gaze shifts towards me and I quickly turn away, looking for... Wait, where's Hunter? All else forgotten, I scan the room, half expecting him to already be holding a bag for Diana, but he's completely out of sight. Hey, anyone see... My voice peers out from under Theo and Rofi's intense discussion, in the simultaneous conversation Ollie is maintaining with Diana. Seems like they got things covered here. Surely I've got a little time to backtrack and find Hunter. I retrace my steps into the entry hallway and spot him immediately. Shit, what? Wait, what's wrong? Hunter, baby, what's wrong? What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? The raccoon stands with one arm pressed against the dirty, peeling wallpaper, leaning his head into it, and shaking ever so slightly. Wait, it's because this reminds him of his dad? Does this remind him of his dad? Was his dad like this? What's happening? Hey, Hunter? He jumps a little, sniffles, wipes his face on his coat, and turns around. Hey, Leo. I can tell his mask is down, his cheek fur wet and his eyes hollow. He won't look directly at me. Oh, Hunter. I'm not sure what's going on, but I do what feels natural, closing the gap between us and trying to go for a hug. As I cross the space, I see him flinch a little, backing up against the wall. It's obvious enough that I freeze in my tracks, just inches away from him. Oh. I pull my paws back, as if burned. His expression is a mix of regret and fear? I'm sorry, Hunt. No, you're good. He shakes his head side to side, rapidly, then puts his face in his paws and exhales. His posture strains, his body stills. When he looks back up, the scared look in his eyes is gone. I just need a moment, sorry. No, don't apologize, I shouldn't have... No, really, it's okay. You were just... Our fractured conversation is cut short by Theo, calling from the living room. Hunter? Leo? We need a few extra paws here. Hunter takes another breath in. Can we talk? At home? Home. I hadn't even meant to say it, but somehow it feels true. Hunter meets my gaze, then nods. Yeah, we're coming. Sorry. The raccoon takes the lead, with me following close behind. Upon entering the room, it's obvious that everyone is waiting for us. Hey, Leo, grab that bag next to Ollie, and Hunter, can you get your shovel just in case we need a bigger path cleared in front of us? Rofi running the show instead of Theo is a little surprising admittedly, but we follow his directions. In my peripheral vision, I see Diana attempted to push herself up and out of her chair. After a few attempts, Ollie quietly offers her an arm, which, after one final try, she takes. She zeroes in on Hunter and me, standing in the entrance to the living room. Coming into someone's home without introducing yourself, huh? I turn to look at the raccoon, expecting him to flip the Hunter incorporated switch, but his dull, glassy eyes are glued to the floor. Sweat beads freely on his forehead. I can tell he's wound tighter than I've ever seen before. Something in this house is triggering him big time. Is it the smell? The mess? You two forget your hearing aids? Or are you just as rude as you look? The old lady? Ollie graciously jumps in to save the day. Diana, these are two of our friends, Leo and Hunter. They were helping us make your stay at the Robinsons go smoothly. I proffer an awkward grin and a weak wave. Hunter busies himself with packing and lifting bags, his back to the rest of the room. Real quiet, your friends. She mutters loudly to Ollie, and he shrugs apologetically. The dino looked pointedly between the two of us. Even if he hadn't noticed it before, Hunter's behavior is obvious now. Refocusing, Ollie smiles at Diana and taps his feathered crest towards the door. They're great folks, but they've been working quite hard and are probably as exhausted as we are. Uh-huh. The old chief loses a derisive grunt from between her yellow teeth. Real tiring, I'm sure, seeing snug as a bug in Theo's palatial estate. But no, St. Tom's ready couch will do for little old me. Tch. Figures. I turn away to conceal my annoyance. That ready couch costs Hunter at least $1,000. The raccoon remains perfectly silent, his back to the rest of the room. He refuses to even look at her. Theo coughs and comes up beside Ollie, resting one paw on the dino's shoulder. We still have some work ahead of us. Ready to go? Yeah, sorry, we're just getting acquainted. Theo doesn't reply, instead crouching next to Diana and preparing to lift her. You better not drop me, you hear? Theo doesn't respond to that either. Alright, go ahead and lean back to diss my arms here. I'll lift you and keep you against my chest while we walk. Leo, could you get the door for us? Right, yes, gotcha. I'm pulled away from the scene by the dog's voice, and I pass through the hallway to the front door quickly. I don't have to pull very hard, though. The unforgiving storm practically blows the door open. I stand by the door as Rofi flies out first, followed by Theo, who seems strangely comfortable carrying Diana. She must be so light. Ollie exits next, close by Diana's side. Then, Hunter. His paws are balled into fists, one of them strangling the shovel, in stark contrast to our earlier walk. I resist the urge to grab his other paw. I give Diana's place a final once-over, then shut the door behind me. I can't make out exactly what's happening at the front of the entourage, but I do my best to follow the group. Truthfully, only Hunter has my full attention. What must be going through his mind right now? Despite having his shovel with him, he remains at the back of the party. Ollie and Artemis picked up the slack without complaints, clearing a path at Rofi's commands. Before long, they reach number 30, and Rofi knocks rapidly on the door. Tom answers, ushering everyone in one by one. He turns his attention to the two of us at the back of the line, and proffers a stiff nod. Wait a minute, hold on. This is gonna be in context to the phone call they made? Hunter explained that the reason why they couldn't have Diana at their house is because someone is ill over there, and it's in their best interest to not have Diana there, because she doesn't have her vaccinations, her most recent ones, and she could get sick and possibly die in that house. So, would that raise some suspicions to Tom? But like, that's quite a lot of people from your house coming over here to drop off Diana. You know, the woman you said would get really sick and die if she goes to your house, but it seems like everyone in that house is over here, so what's the tea? But maybe that $1,000 check probably shuts him up real quick, huh? Hunter responds in kind. Let's head back. Flat, toneless, hollow. We're not needed. I don't reply, suffocated by the mood. With one last inscrutable look at us, Tom bangs the door shut. Damn. The wind seems to slow. As if in response, the soft showers of snowflakes cease. It's just me and him now. The only two people in the world. I look at him. He looks away. We float, suspended in the downy white vacuum. Hunter turns and walks down the center of the street. From the slope of his shoulders and the careless shifting of his feet, he looks like he could just keep walking forever. Destination unknown. I follow his silent lead back down the path to Theo's house. Theo's front door is unlocked, luckily, and Hunter lets us both in. He heads straight for the stairs, but I find myself frozen in thought, standing stock still at the entrance. Hesitant to fully step through. He turns around and waves me over. Come on. We can talk. My ears perked up at the invitation, and I ped over quickly, keeping close behind him as he walks to his room. He shuts the door behind us and takes off his coat. Then he sits on his bed, patting the spot next to him for me. Every movement he makes feels choreographed and deliberate, like a performance. I take my place next to him, not wanting to risk even a single breath, afraid to interrupt the scene. He exhales. Then he rests his elbows on his thighs, snout in his paws, taking off the mask. Boy, I want to give you a hug. So... He stops there, like he's waiting for me to start questioning him, but I don't. You probably want to talk about today. A little, yeah. Did you want to talk about anything specifically? I mean, fuck. Where do I even begin? I'm not sure. I'm just... Hunter, what is going on? That's a loaded question. We sit in mutual silence. Hunter keeps his gaze on me, waiting for me to make the first move, playing defensively. Is it okay if I just listen to you talk? I don't want this to feel like an interview or a quiz. I want you to tell me what you want to tell me. I want to let the conversation breathe. He takes a moment to consider my question, maybe weighing how much to say, how to say it, and... I just wanted to resolve the situation. Theo was stressed. Everyone was stressed. And I felt like I had the tools to make this whole mess much easier for everyone. The tools being... money? He drops his eyes and turns away from me. Yeah. I don't want to get all touchy or braggy or... I don't even know. Money is a hard thing for a lot of people, so I don't talk about it. But, yeah. My family didn't exactly struggle financially, especially when I was growing up. Past tense. And from what I've seen, an understatement. And this issue with Tom, I mean, I could clear it off the board with an insignificant amount of money. To me, anyway. And you wanted to keep Theo out of it. He shifts a little, unlacing his paws and lacing them again. The bed creaks softly. Well, I think you picked up on it too. It's pretty obvious that things are icy between them. I'm sure there's history, and I didn't want to tread on Theo's tail by looping him in. Well, the way you phrased it, it seemed like a bribe, so Tom would keep his mouth shut. And I saw how much you... Yeah, and I did that because it made things easier. His voice picks up in volume just slightly, his frustration earning a tiny flinch from me. He notices instantly. Sorry. He holds up his empty paws, like to show me he's not dangerous. Then he hides his snout in them, looking away again. I'm sorry, I really am. I didn't mean it like that. I let out a breath. No, it's okay. It's been a trying day already. I understand. No, that's not an excuse. He squeezes his eyes shut for a moment. It's just, I know I have access to these resources. What good are they doing just sitting in my pockets to collect in dust? And yeah, I know Theo would want to handle it himself, and I know he'd argue with me. So I saved him the trouble. And I saved both of us the arguments. All I needed to do was make sure Tom didn't have a reason to open his mouth. And in this world, money is loud. He huffs softly, distantly. I just see a memory flailing about, just behind his eyes. Images of an ink-stained page in a shady hand. There's never really a good time to ask about possibly deceased parents, right? Did you learn that from someone? He smells wistfully. My dad. I take the next step. Did he... Is he still... He doesn't reply, but shakes his head. A slow no. Hunter... His paw's open, on his leg. I could reach for it. It's right there. But I so clearly remember him backing away, pressing himself up against the smoke-stained walls of Diana's home. If I chase him, he might run. Were you too close? No. Well, yeah, sort of. It's kind of hard to say for sure. When I was younger, he kept his distance. Our interactions were formal. He felt more like a boss than a dad. Real friends don't really exist. A deep, rich voice echoes in my head. But you felt close to him? Later on, I did. He sort of mellowed out a little, I guess. I wasn't really sure what was going on, especially in high school. No one really filled me in. But he did have moments here and there. Like he remembered we were family. By then, his memory had started to go. So I guess maybe he forgot that he was trying to raise some corporate businessman in me. He says it so matter-of-factly, as if the words held no weight at all. I'm not quite sure how to put it. The more he forgot, the more he seemed to share with me. I almost could have called him a good friend towards the end, but not a father. He sighs. I'm not sure. That was a few years ago at this point. I've tried to convince myself that I don't feel sad and that I don't miss him. And for the most part, I think I've succeeded. I don't miss what he was, I know. I think maybe I miss what he and I had. Whatever that was. He shifts his gaze from the floor back to me. The conversation feels done, but there's so much more I want to ask. I flash back to that grim, panicky moment in Diana's cluttered hallway. His fragile, frightened expression. Our quiet exchange just now was certainly heavy, but it wasn't scared. What was it that triggered him so badly? I feel my next question, the logical next question, start to boil over, bubbling up and out of my mouth. What about... Then I catch myself, just in time. Not now, Leo. My voice cracks in my throat a little. Do you have a favorite memory of him? That stumps him for a bit. I don't know if there's any one moment. The softest of smiles settles onto his expression. But I really did feel closest to him in high school. Every day I'd come home from school and we'd talk, like our noble father and son would. There was no proper language, no expectations. We would just talk. About anything. My joy was his. He was every bit that Dad could ask for during those moments. He wipes his eyes on his arm. 2 days in a row with you, huh? He points to his wet cheek fur, and I can feel a bit of that familiar mischief return to his voice. What can I say? My presence just brings tears to people's eyes. I'm like an onion. I earn a soft snore from Hunter. Sure you are. I don't know if that's a good thing overall, but I don't mind it, I think. He stands up from the bed and gets a nice big stretch in. Big stretch. I get up and back away a little, giving him space. What a contrast from this morning. Hey, remember how I said I was done sleep? Yeah? I lied. He sits out his tongue. The moment I stop to consider it, I feel my own exhaustion creep up and take hold. I think I lied too. He smiles and shakes his head, flopping back onto the blankets. Then maybe a group nap is in order? I'm interested, but I glance over at the bed, unsure of my next move. I meet Hunter's eyes with my own and time stops for a split second. Then, he waves me over with one paw. I then pan the spot next to him in bed. That's all the encouragement I need, and I quickly join him under the covers, snatching one of his pillows for myself. I pull the chessboard blanket up to cover me, the embroidered king laying gently across my chest. No pieces standing in between us. Hunter turns and reaches for the lamp switch, returning us to darkness once more. Hunter shared a lot with me today. I feel that the pieces are starting to fall into place. Starting to. There's still so much to dig through. I extend one arm slightly, tentatively, wanting to feel my paw in his again, but afraid he'll pull away. Let him come to you, Leo. He looks down at my paw, then at me. Oh my fucking god! He's so cute. Then he reaches to take my paw, squeezing it gently with his, so I don't lose track of you. I let out a breath, and with it, the memory of his parents' face. I feel myself physically relax, steadied by his presence. We should probably set an alarm so we don't miss dinner or something. Or we could just sleep. I think I could hibernate through the rest of the storm right now. But think of all the games you'd be missing out on. Oh, totally. My sick gains for my killer beach bod. Have you actually been working out this whole time? He gestures to the weight rack against the wall. I gotta maintain my form. A colossal yawn interrupts me before I can reply. I'm just that boring with my exercise routines, huh? I laugh, then reach to ruffle his head fur. Never. It's been anything but boring with you so far. We let the dark swell up our conversation for a little bit. Hey, Leo? Yeah? I know you probably have more questions about today. Yeah, I do. I let the truth out. I have so many more, but my voice trails off. I promise we'll talk more about everything soon, just give me time. Okay. I trust you. I feel his paw against my cheek. Soft, textured paw pads tracing the spots in my fur. Thank you, Leo. His voice fades as he starts to fall asleep. I take that as my signal to stop fighting the exhaustion, letting it take over. The last thing I feel before I slip off to dreamland is his paw, still wrapped tightly around mine. And that's it. There we go. On that save. Support them! Now! Now we have to wait a long time for the next update. I love this visual novel so much. Well, at least we still have Dawn Course to get through. We got a lot of that to get through. It keeps updating monthly, and I feel like as much as I chip away at it, there's more add to it. And I'm like, okay, this is never gonna end. I guess. And I'm still waiting for Chenya's update, and I'm still waiting for Where the Demon Lurks update. You know, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Actually, what other visual novels do I have to, like, read? I'm not too sure. Because I know I have Dawn Course as, like, kind of like my main visual novel at the moment. Oh, wait, there's Whodunit! Oh my god, this is, the people who created Addiction have a new game out called Whodunit. I really want to play that now. I should probably play that, too. I don't know. Am I gonna have time? Well, I might not have time, though, because I'm going to be working 2 jobs soon, so... But in the meantime, thank you all so much for clicking on this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and subscribe if you're really interested. I'll leave a link to the visual novel in the description below if you want to go play for yourself, as well as a link to my Blue Sky if you want to support me on that platform. And as always, I'll be leaving a link to the visual novel me and my good friend Red Panda made for the February game jam called When You're Mine. Please don't show your support to it. If you do enjoy it, maybe consider rating it and comment on it on itchio. We love reading those, it makes our day. And as always, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!